Pokémon Unbound is regularly called the best ROM hack ever made, and in 2026 it still holds up. For most people, it's absolutely worth playing, but it's not perfect, and I want to give you an honest breakdown of exactly what you're getting into before you start. Unbound is a FireRed-based ROM hack set in the Borrius region, built by Skeli and a small development team. It has custom music, custom sprites, a full mission system, multiple difficulty modes, and a wide variety of Pokémon, Generation 1 to nearly Generation 8 currently, all built from the ground up. Before you even play a single battle, the level of craft here is obvious. Graphics and presentation. Visually, Unbound is among the best the genre has to offer. The sprites are clean and consistent, the UI feels modern, and the overall aesthetic holds together well throughout. This does not feel like another FireRed ROM hack, but a new game of its own right. The music is a standout, a mix of originals and remixes that genuinely suit the tone of the game rather than just filling the silence. Whilst I did not necessarily love every track, I appreciate the effort that went into each part of the game. This feels like a finished product, not a fan project. Quality of life and ease of play. This is one of Unbound's strongest areas. HMs are gone, text speed is faster, there's a proper EV training setup, and the experience share can be toggled to your preference in the options menu. The mission log is a great way to keep track of both the main objectives and side quests, and even simple things like making the bag have unlimited storage and providing an in-universe explanation for this make the game fun. It's a hack that respects your time and removes friction that makes older ROM hacks frustrating to go back to. Most of the small annoyances that come with the format have been thought about and addressed. Gameplay loop and difficulty. Here's where Unbound genuinely earns its reputation. The difficulty options, easy through to insane, mean the game works for almost any kind of player. But what stands out is where it lands at a standard difficulty. Hacks that are too simple feel like glorified reskins. Hacks like Radical Red, while great, can start to feel more like a battle difficulty puzzle rather than a true Pokémon adventure game. Unbound sits in a sweet spot that neither of those do. It challenges you in a way that feels rewarding. Your team choices actually matter, and the AI has enough intelligence to keep you honest without making every fight feel like a wall. Whenever I lost a battle, I felt that there was a reasonable way I could adjust my team to try a better or slightly different strategy rather than just pure unexplained difficulty. The mission system adds to the game as well. Beyond the gym badge loop, you're consistently picking up side objectives that break up the pacing and give you reasons to explore areas you'd otherwise skip past. They also provide rewards which can vary from useful bag items to useful Pokémon which you could add to your team. Story. I'm not going to summarize the plot as the game has been out for a while and you should experience it for yourself. What I will say is that the writing is more ambitious than most Pokémon ROM hacks attempt. The game manages to draw a balance of older staples of the series like gym badges and an evil team while still feeling new and refreshing. There is a darker tone and the stakes feel real, and the game isn't afraid to slow down and let moments land. The first few hours are a slow burn and it takes a while before the narrative properly grabs you. There are also a lot of characters introduced early in the game. The Professor, multiple members of the evil team, your rivals, so if you play the game periodically you may lose track of the characters to begin with, but it gets there in the end. Some beats are predictable and a couple of characters feel slightly underwritten, but as an overall storytelling effort, it's well above average for the genre. Highlights of the game and what I personally enjoyed. Before I get into the frustrations, I want to be clear about what genuinely stood out for me. The difficulty balance is the biggest one. Finding a ROM hack that challenges you without tipping into frustration or becoming too easy to care about is genuinely rare, and Unbound gets this right. The game also genuinely feels like a real adventure. Normally I don't like new region hacks. I've tried Pokemon Glazed, Pokemon Orange, and many others in the past, but the Borrius region feels well crafted, and exploring it does feel like a fun Pokemon journey. The mission system kept me more engaged than I expected. It gives the world a reason to exist beyond the critical story path, and the variety of objectives means the game rarely feels like it's repeating itself, even when it often does with some of the story beats. The post-game, which I'll cover in its own section, was a genuine highlight and something I didn't expect to enjoy as much as I did, and overall the level of polish across the whole experience is hard to argue with. If you've bounced back off ROM hacks before because they felt rough or unfinished and very buggy, Unbound is the one to come back for. Post-game. This deserves its own section because it's an area mainline Pokemon has consistently dropped the ball on, and Unbound actually delivers. The post-game is substantial. There are a few new areas like Cube Corp, as well as old areas that open up further like Victory Road. There are also additional story content, legendary hunts, and the mission system carries over, so you're never short of things to do as new side missions open up after you beat the Elite Four. Lots of battles are available throughout the Battle Gauntlet, where you can rematch gym leaders, as well as a very developed battle frontier with a battle tower and a new idea called the Battle Sands, where you can give your Pokemon to other trainers who battle for you, and you decide whether they switch out or use your Pokemon's moves per each turn. It was a refreshing take on something that's been around for a while and provides a new way to enjoy interesting battles. The post-game doesn't feel like an afterthought, it feels like a real extension of the game. If you're the kind of player who turns the game off after the credits, you're leaving a meaningful chunk of content behind. Stick around for it. If you're also the type of player that's been looking for a meaningful post-game and are tired of mainline Pokemon games missing this out, this is also a good game to check out. Main gripes. Here's where I have to be honest. The catch rate has been modified, and catching Pokemon, especially legendaries, is noticeably harder than you'd expect. On its own, I can accept that as a deliberate design choice. The problem is, the solution the game offers can feel tedious. The intended fix is specialist Pokeballs, Beast Balls, Fast Balls, Heavy Balls, and sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. But getting hold of them reliably is a whole other commitment. They're expensive, they're often tied to side quests you may not want to do, and in some cases the grind to obtain them is significant. Beast Balls are a good example. Getting them consistently requires farming Iron Balls from wild Pokemon. For a game that otherwise does so much to respect your time, this one area stands out as an unnecessary friction point, especially if you're focused on catching legendaries and don't want to detour through a chain of other objectives to do it. It might seem like a strange thing to focus on, but for a game that did so much right, to draw the balance of fun and difficulty and remove a lot of unnecessary grind, this part of the game just feels slightly off with the rest. Beyond that, the late game can feel bloated. The formula of the evil team moving forward with their objective and you needing an HM which requires the next town's gym badge gets a little old, and the game even makes light of this at the end. Also, some missions are clearly padding and do not provide meaningful rewards. There were moments where the sheer volume of content worked against the experience rather than enhancing it. Additionally, I think for the sheer volume of Pokemon and legendaries, there needed to be a bit more of the region to spread the Pokemon encounters out a little bit more, especially in the post-game. Overall verdict. Pokémon Unbound is one of the best ROM hacks ever made, and in 2026 it still holds that position comfortably. The production quality is exceptional, the difficulty hits a rare sweet spot, the post-game is actually worth playing, and the quality of life improvements make it feel modern in a way a lot of hacks still don't. The modified catch rate system is a genuine frustration, and the game's ambition occasionally tips into excess, but neither of those issues come close to undoing what it gets right. Play it if you want a full polished Pokemon experience with real challenge, a story worth following, and enough content to keep you going well past the credits. Hold off if you're after something shorter and more focused. Unbound is a commitment, and it's best enjoyed when you can give it the time it deserves.